Being a lash artist is a big responsibility. You're dealing with someone's eyes. We only have 2 eyes, and if you're doing something dangerous or not following the correct rules and guidelines, you can really cause a lot of damage. So let's shed some light on some of the most common practices that lash artists do, which I would never recommend. So the first and most common one would be, and it's, oh my God, don't do it. It's the use of glue rings. Glue rings are just the worst idea, I think, in all of lash history. And the reason why is the proximity to your client's eyes. So when we are working with our hands right by our client's eyes and we're wearing a ring that's full of adhesive, the possibility of tilting or having your client even smack it out of your hand and get adhesive everywhere, possibly all over their gorgeous hair or face, and causing chemical burning potentially, is so high. So actually, there's a lot of insurance companies that won't even insure you if you're using glue rings. My insurance company did ask me, and they said they don't endorse the use of glue rings. So you should really check that, because you might not even be covered for insurance if you are using glue rings. And that is the number one thing that could possibly blind someone. It could possibly lead to chemical burning on someone's face and scarring permanently. These are all things that are just not worth it. And so keep your adhesive on your tile. This is the best way for you to be working with your adhesive. In time, you will learn to be super fast to that lash, and it won't matter that you're like half a foot closer, because what really matters in the end is your client's safety. So the second most common mistake, and I'm not judging anyone because I did it when I was first in the industry. I was trained to do it when I was first in the industry. That was about 5 years ago. Things have changed. We are way more educated now, and we've been working with a lab to create a lot of different products. So we are understanding what ingredients actually are a lot more. And so the biggest mistake that's so widely commonly used would be asking your client to wash their lashes with baby shampoo. So baby shampoos, almost all of them, I would say 100% of them, include some derivative of oil-based product in there, and lots of the times it's super sneaky and it's not even called oil something, but it is a part of an oil that they have isolated that is basically just another word for an oil. So we don't know because it's not on the ingredients. We just think we're doing our clients a favor because we can save them some money. But the truth is that lash washes are specifically developed for washing the lashes. And when we do things like prescribe baby shampoos instead of professional lash wash, we are really doing a disservice to our clients, because over time, that product is not meant for the eye. It can cause itching and irritation. They are going to have worse retention because 99% of the time they have like an oil derivative in it. So you are introducing things that shouldn't be sitting on the lash line. And so you should really choose a professional lash wash. I would also encourage that you're getting them to wash their lash brushes very often. We have created an amazing product right here, and it's lash wash pen. So this is our lash wash pen. You can find it at Elevate Beauty Supply on our website. We'll link that below here. And so if you look, you open it up, the brush is already in here. You just twist about 3 clicks here, and then the solution comes out the top, which is super awesome, because this is an excuse for your reason to be able to wash your lashes anywhere. Get out of the gym, you can wash your lashes. Forget to come to your appointment with washed lashes. Just do it in the bathroom before when you get there. Sleeping over at your boyfriend's house, just bring this. It's so easy, not gonna explode in your purse either. And this has been a godsend for my clients, because sometimes the reason why they're not washing is because it's inconvenient and awkward. So also I find that this smaller brush that's a little pointier gets actually to the base of my client's lashes. So it's exfoliating. You don't see that dead skin cell buildup like this in the client's lash line, which is amazing. So once the solution's at the top, then they can just go through right at the base, just flick down, and then rinse this out, and then rinse the lash line after. One of the most amazing things too about this product that I love is that it doesn't foam very much. And everyone's like, what? Don't you need a foaming wash? And the truth is, lots of these foaming washes are awesome. They feel really good to put on your lashes, but they're really washing way too much. And when you wash way too much on the eyeline, you cause irritation. You wash away all the natural oils that are in the skin around that area. So your under eyes, which makes you more prone to aging, and also just all those natural oils that are coming out of your tear glands that do provide a moisturizing that is necessary for the eye not to be irritated. So by using a lesser, more concentrated amount of lash wash in the targeted area that they actually need in this brush here, instead of a big foamy mess that is everywhere in their lashes, you have to rinse way less. So less rinsing means less irritation in the lash line. It means less chance of leftover product in the lash line too, which causes clumping in the lashes. Because if they're not washing out all that bubbly, fun mess that they put in their lash for their lash wash, then the extensions actually, if you're doing volume or even if you're doing classic, can come out looking clumpy. And that residue, if they show up to their appointment with that residue, then it's also creating a problem for retention in the future. So in my opinion, you don't need to have a huge sudsy mess happening in your lash wash. If you have the right ingredients, and if it's a concentrated, very direct approach of application to exactly where they need to be washing, which is by the adhesive at the base of the lashes, then no need for a big foamy show happening that causes a lot of residue and soap in there that can irritate and strip oils and just cause problems for your client. They can get in there with this little tool, and then they can rinse out that mess super easily, which means shorter time doing this lash washing too. The more convenient you make it for your clients, the more convenient you can make washing your clients' lashes, and the faster they can do it, the more they're going to do it and the less annoyed they're going to be. So more consistent results mean better retention for you. So I would highly recommend checking out our product line. We do have wholesale for the Elevate brand, or you can also do a bulk purchase and get your own branding printed here and shipped out to you as well. So check it out on the link down below here. So the next biggest mistake that I see people making is definitely giving in to clients who want lashes that are way too long. When you are lashing, going 1 to 2 millimeters over is ideal in the beginning, especially when you're only doing classics, and stick to your guns. If you do not stick to your guns here, the client's going to have bad retention. The client is going to cause damage to their natural lashes, which you're going to get blamed for later, and they're just not going to look great for that long. They're going to get twisty, and this is your reputation on the line. So explain this to the client. Honestly, you have to think about the long-term health of your client's lashes and of what is going to be presented to the community. Also consider the implications to lash retention if you do go past the 1 to 2 millimeters suggested length, because in the end, you're also going to get blamed for poor retention. So, because you should be, it's your expertise that they are coming to see you for, and then sometimes clients just need to be told, this is what's gonna happen if we go past these boundaries. This is why I've been educated as a lash artist, and I've done a lot of research on this, and I only want the best for you and your lashes, your natural lash health over time. Because over time, if you disrespect this, you'll find that your client has a weaker and weaker lash line as the lashes are not healthy, being prematurely pulled out by the extension that's too long or too heavy for their natural lash, and that creates damage, lifelong lasting potentially damage over time. You don't want to be responsible for that. That is not a legacy worth living. So educate these clients, and if these clients are not willing to be educated, you have to do what's ethically responsible in your eyes, and also protect your career and your reputation in the community first and foremost. And the last tip I would give for all new artists, this is not for older, more experienced artists, but when you are new, you're going to see a lot of awesome taping videos, how to isolate the lashes, the top lash line with tape, like medical tape like shown here. And I would just encourage you, get used to normal lashing first. Once you can start seeing the layers, it's really easy to get your placement right that way, and it is a more advanced technique. Chances are you're going to spend more time applying that tape and taking it off than you are going to save through isolation. In my experience as well, you are going to develop a different kind of eyesight that is going to really hone in on this. It's like if you do I Spies all day. Literally, the first I Spy, you're gonna be like, what, where's this stuff? But you train your eye to look for these things, right? And the more your eye gets trained, the easier it is for you. So lots of things in the beginning aren't necessary and can even be a little bit challenging or disadvantageous to implement into your lashing, because you're just wasting this extra time instead of building these foundational skills that you do need to just get that ball rolling and actually learn how to get the job done properly. Focus on the basics and avoid falling into these traps thinking that taping isolation is going to help you be so much faster, because really it comes down to training your eyes to see isolation and the layers of the lashes. And when you waste time messing around with the tape, you're not going to see the placement of the lashes and how it will sit, and which you really need to have a more experienced eye to be able to anticipate that. It's just going to add longer times to your appointments, take longer for you to actually learn those basics you need to learn. Once you're at the point where you're doing this full set in 2.5 hours and your sets are looking great and you're able to implement those lash maps without thinking about it, that's the point where you want to introduce things like taping isolation, because you know how to isolate. You are having your eyes already trained to see this, which is imperative to being able to anticipate where those lashes are going to sit after you remove that tape. And should they tape remove a bunch of your precious lashes or disrupt it, when you're removing the tape from the upper lash line, you're fast enough to recover from that, fix that little bit of damage that could possibly be made by that tape. So don't fall for those gimmicky tricks. Lots of the tricks that you see are going to be ways to enhance the foundational skills that you learn. But if you haven't learned them yet in the beginning, then you have to really just hunker down and focus on the basics first. So if you've liked this video, please consider liking and subscribing with the button below. We're always putting out new information, helpful tips that I've learned from educating my students that I'd like to share with you guys, so you can help implement them in your studio practices as well, so they can make your lash career better as well. If you have any further questions about the topics that we've talked about today, please leave them down below in the comments or DM me on my Instagram account. I love connecting with people through Instagram, and I'd be so happy to hear your thoughts or any other challenges that you're having. See you next week.